jmc6000 here in the JMC household, and for this week's JMC review, we're actually not going to be doing a review, but we're actually going to be doing a repair review on this guy right here, the Hotpoint. And in fact, let's see what model it is, because I absolutely forget. Whoa, just got done. The Hotpoint HDP330 PGR3BB, something like that. The 330. Anyway, it's one of GE's basic dishwashers. They have it in Hotpoint. They have it in GE, various models, and usually everything that they do in this dishwasher as far as the wash system is exactly the same. There may be some variations, but even up to this dishwasher was $299. If you go up to the GE Hotpoint dish or the GE dishwashers, even upwards of $600–700, the wash system that they employ is exactly the same as the one that's $299. All they have is a little bit more features on the control panel and some different features that you can enable and use. So, with that in mind, let me share with you the issue that I've had with this dishwasher. Now, we've only had this dishwasher for a little over 2 years, about almost 2.5 years. And what was happening was when you would start a load, it wouldn't finish a load. In fact, we would come and the dishwasher wouldn't even empty its dirt cup. We would come and stuff would still be dirty. It's like, what is going on here? And what was happening was it was throwing up an error code. And when it throws up an error code, it flashes the error code, drains any remaining water out, and then after about a minute, it totally shuts off. In fact, this whole, wasn't for the sun, this whole screen would be dark. No error codes, no lights, no anything. So I had to run the dishwasher and I find out what the error code was. Now, when it does do the error code, you want to stand in front of it to block the light, the start will actually flash, this little guy right here will actually flash the error code up on this little light here, and it will do several different flashes. The one I was getting, and if you want to know where your instruction manual is, not your instruction manual, but your service manual, it's going to be tucked up underneath the service panel, which we're going to look at here shortly. And you can grab the service manual out and figure out what codes it's throwing. It could be one of 12 fault codes. Mine was flashing 6 flashes. It means it was code number 6 for H2O water supply failure. Funny. The thing had water in it. I could hear it draining. How is there a water supply failure? Because it's actually getting fresh water. There was no issue with that area, with that problem. So I had to dig a little bit deeper, and I had to figure out what some of these sensors, it does have a wiring schematic, and what some of the actual sensors do. And the one that I had to find was this right here. It's called the pressure sensor. Now we're going to go down below and I'll show you where the pressure sensor is on most GE dishwashers that are newer made, anything 5 years, maybe about, oh, I don't know, even 6–7 years or newer, are going to have the same exact pressure sensor in the same exact location. So let's go down below and let me show you what I found and why it was throwing that fault code. All right, now we're down below. We're going to look at where this sensor is. First thing you want to do is remove the kick panel. The kick panel is held on by 2 1/4-inch screws. Once you have the kick panel removed, I'm going to shine my flashlight in here to see a little bit better. This is the sensor we're talking about, this guy right here. In order to remove this, you lift up on the tab and you twist. Now there's going to be some water that's going to, probably should have something to catch that. Uh-oh. But that's all right. We're going to let it drain out there. You can put a towel underneath here or something like that, and it'll help to catch a lot of that water. I'm not really too concerned about it because it's just about done draining anyway. So, also, next what we want to do is while we have this out, we want to disconnect. You pull this tab down here, and you pull this tab on the other side. And that separates the sensor out of its holder. Also, there is a gasket you don't want to lose. And then the plug there's a catch right here. If I can just get it out. Oh no. Stay. There is a catch right here for the plug. Oh, wait a minute. That's what I did wrong. You actually pull the catch down instead of up. Anyway, this is your pressure sensor. Now, in here, I'm going to pull this out here. Now, come with me up above, and I'll show you what was going on with mine. Okay. Pressure sensor, gasket, and this is the holder that the pressure sensor goes in. And what happens is that area gets filled up with water, and this pressure sensor senses where that water is, so it can tell the dishwasher, hey, we're filled up, we're ready to go, we're ready to start pumping and everything. If it cannot sense water in the bottom of the sump, it will not fire up. This does not have an old float device like some old dishwashers have. This actually uses this pressure sensor. Now, what was happening is over time, as you can see, there's a little bit of grease and nastiness in here. What was happening was this whole thing was getting filled up with this nasty yellow grease of food and everything else was getting filled up in here, and it was blocking water from actually hitting this pressure sensor and sensing that there's water in the bottom of the sump. So again, when it cannot sense there's water in the bottom of the sump, it's going to throw that 6 flash error code right above the start button, just to let you know that it doesn't sense any water. Even though water is going in, it's going to drain water, but as you can tell, it wasn't sensing any water. So as a result of that, I had to take the pressure sensor out. I had to actually clean the holder that it was in, and also clean this nub right here that actually senses the water coming in. And you want to make sure that you don't want to put nothing abrasive in here, but to make sure that you come in and make sure everything's free. You can lightly blow in it and make sure it's all free of debris and it's all clear. If you have like maybe a Q-tip or something like that, you can kind of go in there and see if you can knock things free. And you can actually hear it move back and forth just a little bit. So that's what was going on with this dishwasher. Now, one of the downsides of this dishwasher, I covered this in another video, but I'm going to say it again in this video. One of the downsides of this dishwasher is I have no options. Of course, this is kind of like a rental spec special. You know, I don't know if anybody would buy the bottom of the barrel dishwasher, but here it is. Great for rental houses like what I'm in right now. But unfortunately, when you buy the rental spec special, you only have 3 cycle options and you start it, and that's it. You can't dictate what temperature the water's at. You can't dictate if you want drying or no drying. There's not a lot of things you can actually choose as options. I think because a lot of the grease that gets built up, that the water in this thing does not get hot enough to kind of break down the grease and the food and the debris. Contrary to popular belief, you actually want very hot water when you wash your dishes. The hotter, the better, to the point where it's almost melting plastic. But that's why most of your plastic would sit on the top rack. Anyway, you want hot water to wash your dishes. Not because hot water is you know something new or something like that, but no, hot water will actually eat away at the grease. You won't have this buildup inside in different places because you're using extremely hot water that will actually eat away at the grease instead of allowing the grease to build up. And I think because I cannot choose the option of getting hotter water or any kind of a steam sanitizer or anything like that, we have grease that sometimes builds up in this dishwasher because the water is not hot enough. So I don't know if this is an issue with higher end GEs, but I know it's an issue with this Hotpoint that I've been battling with. It seems like every 6 months I got to clean this thing because I start getting issues and start throwing error codes. Other than that, it's been a decent dishwasher, but I wanted to kind of bring this video, kind of a break up from my carb reviews and everything else, just to not only give you an update on this Hotpoint, but also some of the issues I've been struggling with and how to clean the pressure sensor You can actually hear it there that it's actually still working. How to clean the pressure sensor if you run into the same issue. Again, this thing is the only thing that senses that there's water in the sump as it's filling up. That's it. And if it can sense water, it's going to throw that error code and drain everything right out. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, comments, maybe you have a newer GE dishwasher, maybe you have this Hotpoint, and maybe you're starting to struggle with the same things or something similar. Again, if you need to find out where this is underneath the kick panel. It's going to be buried underneath there somewhere. And this will share a lot of trouble codes that you're seeing and going through. This will also share a schematic of the wiring diagram. You know, which wires go where, what sensors there are on. This particular dishwasher only has a couple sensors. It has a water valve, pressure sensor. It also has the door latch sensor, a couple other things, and then of course, you know, the drain and the pump motor. There's not a lot to this dishwasher, a thermistor. But anyway, if you have any questions, comments, just let me know. And appreciate all of the feedback. You guys be blessed. Have a wonderful day. We'll catch you on the next one. Please stay tuned for this week's JMC Garage Talk review, or what I do on JMC Garage Talk for this Saturday afternoon. I'm uploading the new video of the Explorer with the exhaust. Absolutely sounds amazing for the 2.34 cylinder. Awesome. All right, you guys be blessed, and we will catch you on the next one.